What's up, YouTube? So, hope you're all doing well wherever you are in the world today. It's just making a YouTube video. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in the UK, and we've had some lovely weather for the past 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's probably the longest that I've experienced without any rain at all, which is definitely nice. And yeah, there's a feeling of summer is, I don't want to jinx it, but this could be the one that we've waited for. Haven't had a good summer since I think COVID of 2020 was the last one that I can remember that was decent. So this video is just going to be a post review of my 3-day fast that I undertook just over a week ago. I started last week on Monday evening with my last meal around 6 to 8 p.m. and then didn't eat again until the Thursday of that week at around lunchtime, when I eventually broke the fast. And I just want to go through some of the highlights or struggles, challenges, benefits, things like that, now that I am a week into starting to eat regularly again. Although since then I have carried on in the same vein of not so much fasting for 3 days, but doing the intermittent type of fasting, which is not eating anything until probably get up in the morning, don't have breakfast, have some water, have maybe a cup of tea, and then not eat anything until 12 or 1 p.m. and then that will constitute my first meal of the day, and then I will then just have another meal in the evening, and then that would be it for the day. So what did I find beneficial about the 3-day fast? I think the main benefit that I can take from it is just knowing how well you can deal with hunger. I'm not trying to insinuate that I became hangry. I'm not really one to go through that symptom of being hangry. On the other hand, I just was pleasantly surprised by how manageable it was to control the hunger, because the research that I read or listened to going into it did say that the hormone that stimulates hunger, it does it in waves, and the purpose isn't that for it to just make you feel hungry all the time. It's kind of just to get your brain thinking about food when you're hungry, and if you don't do anything about it, it subsides and you carry on with your day. So I found that beneficial in the sense that I could manage better than I thought the feelings of hunger, and that's one. Number two, it helped with emotional control, should I say, because for lack of a better description, going through a period where you know that you're not able to consume things that you want to, even though you have an urge, even though everything in your being is telling you to eat something, it does translate into becoming a bit more, let's just say, the delay of gratification, which I think is the cornerstone for so many worthwhile endeavors, is that delaying gratification. So being able to do this for 3 days certainly helps strengthen that muscle, I think, and that's a big takeaway, because in the pursuit of many worthwhile endeavors in life, it involves delaying gratification and staving off the things that impulsively you want to do at that time, or eat or consume or whatever it may be, to get to where you want to achieve your goals, sometimes you have to delay that gratification, and doing the fast definitely helps with that, because I've carried that on into my intermittent fasting. Even though I wake up in the morning hungry, um, I try to focus my thoughts on the fact that the 12 o'clock lunchtime comes around so quickly anyway. It's almost like waking up and lunchtime are at the same point in time. Space time, you gotta try and think of this whole space time concept, in that two separate events can be squeezed into the same point, I feel anyway. It's just because the rapid rate at which time passes is just phenomenal, isn't it, Arlo?
Huh.
Does time go really fast?
No.
It does, doesn't it? No? Oh, it goes slow. Yeah, I think it goes slower when you're a child, when you're very young. So it does carry on. It spills over into other aspects of your life. So that's another key takeaway. Number 3 would be the benefits that are happening behind the scenes that I don't really perceive or notice straight away, which are the autophagy things, which are, the body's way of cleansing. I have a lingering shoulder injury in my left shoulder, and I'm not sure if it was to do with the fasting or what, but it did seem to get better at the end, and following that period, I've noticed the pain isn't as much as it, or as severe as it used to be. So I'm just gonna go check up on the little boy, because I don't know where he is. What else? Yeah, so the cell repair, the body cleansing itself, behind the scenes, the reset, so to speak, of the dopamine levels in the brain. Yeah, I think there's certainly a lot to be said about those benefits that I don't immediately get to see. So I think that comes later on. And I wasn't expecting to see that instantly anyway, So I think those type of benefits just come as part of the process. 1 minute. Sorry, I just had to explain how the sewage system works to my little boy, because he asked the question. And so what were some of the downsides? Some of the downsides were I didn't really sleep that well. My sleep was, now I could put it down to the fact that I wasn't sleeping in my usual place of sleep. 1 second. Yes. So sleep was a tough one for me. Another tough one, I did get a headache. They say sometimes you do get headaches, but I'm no stranger to headaches. Get them more often than I think, I suppose. So had to deal with that. Low energy coming into like day 2 of the fast. I definitely noticed a lull in my energy levels. So working out had to be catered to these type of scenarios, which is just like walking, nothing too intensive. So I had to put to one side my regular working routine, workout regimes, shall I say. Yeah, a bit of lightheadedness at times when I was walking, taking the dog for a walk. And obviously there's the cravings for food, which is, a given, and is bound to happen because you're not eating for so long. And then, yes, yeah, and especially when you're making food. Okay, when you're making food for your family and stuff, and you can't eat any of it, that definitely contributes to the. It makes it harder. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've done this, how regularly you do it, what benefits you find from it, and yeah, how often you do it in the year. I want to hear what methods you use to cope. So I think that's gonna do it for today. I keep getting interrupted. I'm probably not gonna get any other free time to carry on this video, so sorry it's a bit short this week. I just thought I'd share my views on how it went, how the fast went, and some takeaways. I don't mean in the sense of food takeaways, but some lessons learned and some habits that I'm forming since coming off the fast is intermittent fasting. I've also just tried to cut down on. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the weight loss side of things wasn't really that notable or noteworthy, so it wasn't really for the purposes of losing weight. It was more for the other benefits that I've already spoke about. So since then my diet has kind of just moved towards a lower carbohydrate and sugar intake. So I'm just focusing on more protein, more healthy fats, and yeah, just less carbs and less sugar, and that goes for fruits as well. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me some of your suggestions of how you go about intermittent fasting and different benefits that you think you get from it. And I will definitely see you in the next one. Have a good weekend, or good day, or good night. Cheers.